Hi everyone. Once again, my name is Nelsie, and today I'm excited to share my reflection on the two different dramatic experiences, my imaginative play as a pirate and my participation in a scene from the musical Into the Woods. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. So I'll be comparing these two experiences and focusing on their visuals and movements, as well as discussing their impact. Okay, so let's start with theater visual. So in my dramatic play, as a pirate, I had to borrow two kids, not just one, two. My friends, 3-year-old and 4-year-old, who happen to be siblings, and it was really cool. So the visuals were created using everyday items. So nothing special. We used a cardboard box that I had laying around to create to represent my ship. And then it was all about creating things, from the imagination. There's nothing elaborate about it. And we just really winged it, I guess. But it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I had both of them. It made it a lot easier than if I were to be playing with myself, because that, I don't know. It took me back to being a kid, how free and how cool it was, playing with my cousins. So it was cool. We battled sea creatures, and we searched for treasure in our living room, well, in mine, because in my apartment. And the kids really had fun. So I felt like the movement again was very contagious and very playful. I feel like I felt free to exaggerate my gestures and act out different scenes without being constrained to oh, I have to do this, oh, I have to do that. And then the freedom of being able to do that just made me feel very joyful and immersed, and really and I really immersed myself into the character, and then with Into the Woods, I felt like the movement was more structured and rigid in because I don't act, right? I feel like a lot of us don't. So I yeah. And then each character that I acted out had a specific movement, and it was more aligned with a music or a script, which I think the cool part about that was it was intentional and it helped with the performance. And it was clear on what your next step was, right? You just had to do it and memorize it. But yeah, and same thing with the dialogue. So yeah, and then let's see my next thing. I feel regarding creativity, the dramatic play really sparked more unstructured exploration, unlike the theater participation of Into the Winds. I feel like the Into the Woods really challenged me to think about how to bring that character into life. you know, and like while like still respecting the story's framework. Let's see. And then finally, like the emotional reactions were quite different. Like they're distinct from both sides. Again, like dramatic play was more like liberating to like express myself without like judgment or being too hard. And like meanwhile, like Into the Woods, it was still cool to do. I just wouldn't do it again for my sake. I'd rather watch other people do that. But it was definitely more purposeful. And I will say it was cool to like immerse yourself into like the character. And I did not, okay, sorry. And then, so for Into the Woods, I did the character Cinderella. I had a really nice dress, like a gown almost, lying around, funny enough. And then I had the forest background. I have some plants in my living room. And then I threw a party not too long ago. So I had like grass and earthy stuff. So I was able to put it as a backdrop, and I was able to like act that out in front. I had to have someone in there. My boyfriend was on the couch just watching me perform this. So I gave him a show. Yeah. And yeah, I think it was cool to do, you know, but two different experiences for sure. I feel like both of them had their own structure and like creativity, I guess. And they brought out different emotions like out of me. But yeah, so thank you for listening. I know I rambled a lot. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the rest of your day. Bye-bye.